Thank you very much. Good morning. My name is Ted Phillips. I am the chair of the JEA Awards Committee, and I would like to call the April 18th, 2024 awards meeting to order. We have a physical quorum present today, represented by myself and Tony Long for David Emmanuel. And I believe Ray Marshall, are you on the line?
Yes, I'm here, Ted.
Okay, thank you. OGC is represented by Rebecca Levy. Budget is represented by Stephanie Neely. Did we receive any public comment via email?
No, sir. No public comment received.
We have no one in person for public comment. Is there anyone on the line from the public who would like to speak up? If so, please unmute yourself. Hearing none, we will move to today's consent agenda. We have items 1 through 3. They have been approved by procurement, budget, OGC, legal, the business unit, VP and chief, and are ready for the awards committee approval. Before we take a vote on the consent agenda, are there any items that need to be moved to the regular agenda for discussion or deferred to another week?
I have an item I would like to move for discussion.
All right, which one?
Item number 2.
Item number 2. So we will change the agenda to have the consent agenda being items 1 and 3, and then the regular agenda will consist of item 2. Can I get an approval for the agenda as amended?
I so move.
Second? I'll second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, the motion is adopted. So today's agenda, Ray, you have questions or comments on item number 2?
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay.
Do I proceed, Chair
Please.
Phillips, at this moment? Okay, thank you. Just quick question. And so this is the landscaping, I think, for our facilities maintenance. And as I was reviewing the agenda item, it looks like the proposers propose on 4 separate. It looks like it's broken up by 4 separate areas. In my reading that, could someone elaborate why that is the case versus just bidding on the entirety of the facilities?
Right.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, Melanie, you go ahead.
Yes, this is Melanie. I'm business operations, and we help with the contracts and support facilities. And the choice was made to do this because so that we could incorporate JSEB vendors. This carries a large portion of the JSEB portion, and a lot of those JSEB vendors aren't capable of managing the entire portion of the landscaping. In fact, we've had to actually break it down a little bit farther to assist them in better managing the sites that they are assigned.
So if it was the entirety, that would have eliminated our JSEB vendors? Is that what I'm to understand?
No, it would not have eliminated them. I mean, they would still have been able to bid on them, but just from past experience and from feedback from the JSEB vendors, their capability of being able to handle all of them.
So may I jump in?
So it looks like the JSEB vendors bid on each one of the areas.
Yeah.
And if one of the vendors had been low bid on each one of the areas, they would have had all of them. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes. This is Chrissy Nunziato. Ray, may I comment?
Yes, ma'am.
When we put this out for bid, it's divided up into districts, and we allow the businesses, the vendors, to bid by district. So we want to encourage JSEB participation. So we divide the districts up according to the volume of work. So some of the smaller JSEB vendors can only have the capability to do certain districts, and they bid accordingly. If we had put this out as just one, not separated it up into districts and just put it out as one group of work, they would not have been able to accommodate all of the different, the whole. So we parcel it out into districts so that they can accommodate some of those districts, those areas.
So if it had been a whole, would this have precluded our JSEB vendors? There are no JSEB vendors that would have been able to do it as a whole.
Probably not. There's one,
Yeah.
J&D, that may have been able to, but they've been on and off of the JSEB list. They were qualified as JSEBs and they graduated from the program. Then they changed the parameters, so they were back on. So we may have had one, but we certainly would not have had the JSEB participation that we currently have.
How did we bid it the last time?
In districts, the same.
So have he historically over the last, help me understand, was it the last time and this time, or has this been historically the way that we've done these landscaping services by district, for districts?
We usually historically bid it out by district. So what we've
And this
done,
one-
Ryan, you'll see this next week when we bring another landscaping that was sheltered up for your review. What we try to do is we try to make sure that we are dividing up the district so that the work gets done appropriately for JEA while allowing JSEBs to have a portion of the work. So, we're bringing in new JSEBs, we're offering, we're trying to make it, align it so that it works for JEA, but that we're allowing JSEBs to be able to participate.
And I think I'm looking at from the vantage point, there's an economy of scale. So allowing JSEBs to participate, if I was bidding on this and I was thinking, well, they're going to be individual, I'm probably going to bid more individually versus than if I thought I could do 2 or 3 or 4. So that's my concern, having the economy of scale for the organization as well as balancing what we're trying to do for JSEBs.
Yep, I understand that. And I think that's why Melanie and her team really scrutinize what belongs together in a district, because some areas are much bigger and we do see economies of scale, but we're still, remember, any JSEB can bid on it, but we're taking the price heavily into consideration. So we are balancing both, giving the opportunity and making sure that we're looking at the lowest cost provider. Would you agree with that, Melanie?
Yes, I do.
Ray, this is Bill Hickey. Can I say something?
Of course.
Yes. Well, I think this will actually help promote competition, which will drive the price down, because if there's only a single bidder that can do all this work, then they have no incentive to drive their price down. Whereas if it's bid by districts, there may be smaller but more competitive bids, so that'll do the price controls in and of itself.
I would add, this is Jenny. I would add that onto what Bill was saying. They don't, when they're bidding these, Ray, they don't know who's bidding on what district. So they're coming forth with their best price because they can pick and choose which ones they want to bid on. So we might have competition from 5 JSEB vendors in one district, and some might have 3, but they don't know when they're bidding who's going to bid on these districts. So they're putting their best foot forward.
I understand what Bill said. I understand what Jenny said. And what I'm saying is the best price might be even the better price if they were put all together. I don't know if that's going to lead to just one JSEB. That's what Bill was alluding to, or more than one. But that's my point.
This is Melanie, if you don't mind me jumping in, we extended this just for this 11 months because the goal was to realign the districts and the sites going forward. So in the next 11 months, we could put them all together and put it out as one solicitation,
I
as
would
an
like-
open.
Okay, like, who said that?
This is Melanie with
Okay,
Business
thank you,
Operations.
Melanie. I would like for the group to give some consideration to that for the next go around. Because I'm thinking about, I want to encourage JSEP participation, but we should balance that as well as with the, if there's an opportunity for the organization to have some cost savings vis-a-vis economy of scale.
Business would love to do that. That would make it easier on them. We were just trying to accommodate JSEP participation also.
Yeah, I understand, Ray, where you're coming from.
I think
This is,
there could be balanced.
Jenny, can, when we do rebid this out, can we bid, do both? I mean, can we ask people to bid on all of it and on districts and evaluate based upon the bids we get back? So we kind of get best of both worlds?
so we sort of get the best of both worlds now because we have another open market facilities landscaping. So that there's another area, and Melanie, you'll have to kind of elaborate on that piece of it versus the districts we kind of pull and set aside for the sheltered market for the JSEB. So these are smaller districts, and we do have an open market that is larger. So we've been playing with this a little bit over, the history of at least since I've been here to try to have that alignment. Melanie, can you elaborate a little bit on the open market one and the size of those districts versus what we do for the JSEBs? Is there a big difference there?
I don't know. I can't really speak to the size of those districts. It's more, I think, the complexity of the sites and what's required at each of those sites. Like the service centers are all under the open contract.
So Chair
Yeah.
Phillips, I understood your ask. I think that's a good question. So what I'm going to suggest as a new member in this committee to move ahead, since this is 11th month, let's look at this during these 11 months and see if maybe there's a different vehicle that can be employed based on the comments that I've made.
Thank you. Are there any other comments on item 2? The chair will entertain a motion to approve item number 2.
So moved.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, so that was Renetta with the motion and Tony with the second. So, all those in favor? Say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion is adopted. So award to number 2 is awarded. So, so items 1 and 3 of the consent agenda have been approved, and then item 2 was approved in the regular agenda item. Are there any other? Is there any other business to come before the awards committee this morning?
No other business, but I would like to state that I'm honored to be on this austere committee and look forward to participating.
Well, thank you. We are more austere because you were here. So how's that? Seeing no other business, I will adjourn our meeting. Thank you for everyone for your hard work getting this put together and for answering the questions that we had this morning. Thank you, and we are adjourned.
Thank you.